you beautiful people? Hope everybody's having a good one. And whenever you're listening to this right now, I hope it's a good one. Here I am in sunny Florida, even though it's a little cooler, lovely jubbly. And we have had some rain. This one all about you don't owe them shit. What do you mean you don't owe them shit? Exactly that, actually. You don't owe them shit. So, like I said, I'm down here in sunny Florida. And the weather here is quite nice right now. I know we have some cold, well, I say cold spells. Just like tomato, right? It's a cold spell to me because I live here in Florida and it's bloody hot all year round. But we have been a little dry. And if you need any one-on-one counselling, please hit me up. Please, please, please hit me up. I love what I do. And I love to see people get ahead in life, let me tell you. And like I said, hit me up, yeah? And I do one-on-one work and I use social media platforms, mainly Zoom, but I've done others. I've even done it over the phone, straight up phone. Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. I've had people even have done or come from other therapy means or other therapists and said that things are definitely different when they get with me. So, hey, that's other people saying that ain't me. So hit me up. Anyway, what's this one about? I heard you say, Cockney Buddha, I heard you say you don't owe them shit. And then what do I mean by that? Well, there was a little conversation going on with my wife and I as we were... oh, God, yeah, we got to get... There's always money involved, isn't there? Right? It's always like, I got to spend what? We got to paint because we got a rental place that we had to get out of that neighbourhood. God, dude, it was like getting really... And I don't mean crime-wise, I mean like just infiltrated... Yeah, cars, and it was just going a bit just nuts. And we got out of there, and we were like, all right, what are we going to do? So we actually rent that place out, but it's got to be painted. And we had to go and get, what do you call those bloody things that are on the cards with the paint swatch? Is it called? Is it something like that? A paint swatch. And so we went and grabbed that tonight, and when we were on the way back in the motor, a little bit of a conversation came up with my wife and I, and big shout out to Tracy, with my wife and I, and we got talking about like parenting and things like that, and I thought, oh, this would make a podcast, because the guilt was kicking in with my wife. There was some guilt coming up, and we got into a little bit of I'm not going to go into it too much, but we got into a little bit of a conversation around it, and I wanted to know, like, okay, what's the guilt? Why did you feel guilty? And it kind of brought up the subject. And, I know when I had my two girls, I didn't bring them up to owe me anything. I had my two girls, or we, I should say, not just me, of course, but we had my two girls because we wanted a family, we wanted people to love, we wanted people to bring up and give enjoyment of a life. And is it great? No, shit no. It's family. We have our ups and downs and fights and goodness knows what else. But the heart of it, for me and my wife, is, we're bringing our kids up to be able to have a better lifestyle and have some, kind of straightforward thought thinking, being open-minded, taking on board different things that they can learn along the way, and then guiding that, and then having them have their life, and then being a part of that still, hopefully, if they choose to, being a part of that still as they, they move on with their life, and then you see them grow and the beauty of that. But you don't turn around and you go, you fucking owe me because I've given you so much of my life. I mean, when I say that, it sounds freaking crazy to me. But how many out there live in that? The guilt of that, right? I owe my parents something. I owe them because they did this or they did that or they've given me. Their parents. I can't. If there's parents out there that are thinking, "Hey, my kids owe me," then I'm sorry. I don't agree with you. Why did you have them? Unless, yes, I get it. There's no doubt in my mind that there is people out there that have children and they bring them up. I mean, I know there's fucking, with me growing up, it was this, like, I have this guilt of, like, the same kind of thing. Like, I owe something. Like, I even felt wrong for moving away. And there wasn't this, like, shit, son, yeah, go and freaking live your life, and you've met someone that you love, and we love her, and we want nothing but the best for you, and you're making that choice, and well done, you're growing, we're always here if you need it. No, shit, no, it was I felt very kind of unstable, in fact. Because it wasn't that, like, all of a sudden that safety. It was like, okay, I'm gone, that's it. There was this, I didn't get that talk. I didn't get the talk of, like, fill your boots, like, freaking go and live your life. Because it was that underlying of, like, okay, I'm going to take care of my parents somehow. And all the while you've got that, you're going to feel really guilty. But when I think now, I think, God, blimey, if that really is something, then I don't know. Because I know like I say, I can only use my girls as I bet their ears are burning. I bet my girls' ears are burning because we're talking about them. But I'm bringing my two girls up to take a part of us, hopefully. Be able to talk about us in a positive way, even though, yes, there's freaking shit that happens. We're not that bleeding family where we put out there and go, yeah, we're perfect. And no such thing as perfect, by the way. But no, we have our shit. We have our shit. And, unlike where I was brought up, where you didn't talk about any of that to anybody outside of the family, I've always, shit. I'm not that person I know I have my shit. My wife knows she has her shit. My two kids have their shit, and shit clashes sometimes, but it's not like, hey, you don't talk about this. Bullshit. Of course you're going to talk about it, but my head growing up, hell no. Another one of those, right? It's like, it just keeps pulling you in. It just keeps tying you in and pulling you into that environment. This is safe. Outside of that isn't safe. And then you believe that you owe. What you owe for someone choosing to have you. And if that choice wasn't there, okay, yeah, there's circumstances around all that. I get it. But even there, shit, man, I can't imagine having a young one and abandoning them. God, that would, like, just thinking about it hurts. Just thinking about it hurts. But you're going to end up pushing them. You're going to end up, and parents, listen, I had to do some therapy around this because I was very on the control side of things, like protective side of things. Very, very protective. And when I went in one of my therapy sessions once, I got told to back up. And in my mind, that doesn't even speak my language. You're speaking double Dutch to me because that doesn't exist. And I'm like, what? But when I was given the analogy, well, not analogy, but when I was given what the consequence of that could be, meaning you keep up that, you end up just pushing them away. You won't know shit. You end up putting more space. You believe that you're doing the right thing because you're protecting, but what's coming on the other side is you're not giving them that freedom, or believe, or they're going to end up believing that you don't believe in trust. Now you're going to push them away. Hey, they don't trust me, so I'll just do it here. You want to keep that open communication with your kids. Again, this is one of those things where you want to bring them up to where you can communicate, but you don't have to know the ins and outs of every single thing, where they are, where they're going, who they're with. I get it. But yes, I get the protection side. I've had it where if you have to step up at times, there's a stepping up. I get it. I'm not saying just leave them, let them fucking well. No. Because I know people are going to look into some of this stuff that I'm saying. They're going to go, oh, yeah, and they're going to twist and bend it into whatever the fuck they're thinking it is, and it's not that at all. What I'm saying is, hey, listen, here's the things that I have learned and the wisdom that I have with this, and sometimes it might take a little bit of listening up and thinking, I'm kind of like that. Like when my therapist said it to me, I didn't see myself as that at all until she was like, hey, look, this is the consequence of what can happen. And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't want that to happen unless you do, right? You just keep going the way you're going. Don't change. Patterns change. Patterns change. But getting back to the guilt with family, hopefully you get brought up in a manner of, even though it can be it can be really rough, but even when it's like really rough, I've met people to where they've still had that solid grounding. All the while you've got fractured grounding and you don't feel grounded within that family, i.e., secrets going on, not allowed to do this, you don't have your word of mouth, you can't say anything, you're not allowed, you get, there's like a dictatorship there. You're not going to have that grounding because everybody's feeling like, oh, shit, the person in the driving seat might feel grounded, or are they? And they're looking for everybody else for that grounding, and then you got chaos. But those areas where we find we feel grounded is when we feel safe, and when we feel safe, you can get through anything, including the guilt. So why feel guilty? Especially if there's been trauma around the upbringing. And then you get into be the adult, and then there's all that chaos. Because especially if you're not dealing with it, guys, highly recommend getting into the therapy or talking to somebody, a life coach or something, because it takes talking about it and going there. Yeah, we bury it, and we're like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I actually had someone I did an intro with, and I told them how I work, and they said, I don't really know if I want to go there. And I'm like, well, that's the place to go to find out what's going on. And I didn't get them. Fair enough. That's not the way I do my work. Not work. My therapist keeps slapping my hand for that. Practice. That's how I do my practice. That's how I choose to do my practice. But you can have that where you feel like you can't you feel guilty for having the choices that you're having as an adult. You feel like you're doing wrong, or you're upsetting them sometimes, like, especially if you've got that, like, I had a lot of that, to where I thought sometimes, oh yeah, this is wrong. Wrong in whose eyes? I'm an adult. In whose eyes is it wrong? But you still hold on to that, not like I'm not an adult. Might be an adult thing to do, or an adult thing to see, or an adult thing to experience, or something. And you're like, I don't know. Where does your mind go, guys? Where does your minds go? Hit me up. You know, am I making sense to anybody out there? Because these subjects are those things to where, you know, I looked at my wife and I totally understood where she was coming from when she said, I feel guilt. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, as soon as I started talking about the reasons, as in, do we have children to bring them up to feel this way? So why are we feeling this way? Ask the whys, right? Why am I feeling in this way? Why do I feel guilty for making some of the choices that I make? Why do I feel guilty that I'm feeling like I don't want to see somebody, and this goes with, you know, this can go with friends and that too. Why do you feel guilty? You know, some people will give, and we have the expectation that they're looking to receive. And, you know, if you've been brought up with don't be in anybody's pocket, which is kind of how I was brought don't be in anybody's pocket, right? Then you believe that you've got to give something back to warrant the taking of what they're giving you. And what my therapist told me, think about this, is you're denying them the experience of what they feel to give. Like when I give to somebody, I feel great. Why do I feel great? Because I'm not giving to look for anything in return. Now, is there people out there that are looking to give to get in return? Yes. I'm not saying it don't exist. Absolutely it does. But if you've got friends, family or whatever, and they're giving just like in your upbringing, they gave you an upbringing. They gave you an upbringing. Your parents gave you an upbringing that they wanted you to have. It's just like someone coming up to you and saying, I want to do this for you, or they give you a gift. I used to get like a little bit like, oh, kind of, I don't know what it was. It wasn't down, but it was like sad, kind of, getting something. I guess because it was like, oh, I've got to give something back. It was always this back and forth thing. Now I go, oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Because that goes down a long way. When I give someone a gift, or I give someone time, because believe me, freaking time is a way bigger gift than getting something in your hand. Let me tell you, someone giving you time, it's part of their life they're giving you. Make the most of that. But if someone's giving you that and they want you to accept that because it gives them that heartfelt connection of love, what do you do when you go, oh no, it's all right? I don't want that, which is basically what you're doing by thinking, oh, I've got to give back. Allow the person to have the experience of you connecting, feeling the connection. It's like throwing a float out into a lake when you're fishing and you got that piece of bread or corn or whatever, and all of a sudden it drops down out of sight and it's just sitting down in there, and you hook in. It's the connection. It's like, oh, shit, yeah, I'm in. That. You want them to have that. That feeling of like, game on, all right, here we go. That great, joyous feeling. But that dies with, I've got to give something back. Or, you shouldn't have done that. What message you giving? You shouldn't have done that out of your own guilt, by the way. Oh, I feel guilty that they give me that. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Now what message are you sending with the, oh, you shouldn't have done that to that person? What's the message there? I mean, there's a whole slew of different messages that probably could come out of that, right? But why do we do it? A big shout out there to Mart's Capture, M-Arts Capture. I'm going to put the old Insta in the link. He's a mate of mine. His photography needs a little bit of a... I reckon people need to know about this fella, I'll put it that way. And a lot of other people think people need to know about this fella as well. Big shout out to Martin. He's got a freaking awesome photography thing going, let me tell you. And he's getting in with some music artists and shit, and it's like, his art is like banging, man. Go and check it out. Mart Capture. You can look him up on if you're a mate of mine or whatever, you'll follow me. Go and check him out in my Instagram. You'll find him, Mart Capture. He's putting out some banging stuff, like a bunch of still shots that go to the actual artist doing the performance. It's mad. It's not a video, but it looks like a video with all these little individual still shots. So much love to everybody. Get out there and give me the old subscribe and love, yeah? Hit me up in the comments and give me the like. Love each and every one of you. Stay that course. Namaste.